All right, welcome back. During the course of being a detective, I took an oral and a few years and became a detective supervisor. And one of the things what happens when you become a supervisor, whether it be a patrol sergeant or a detective supervisor, is people actually do a lot of things in the supervisory level. And I'll be telling different stories about that as we go along here on realcopstoriesvideos.com. This one was smaller cities outside the big city have entry-level orals, and they want to have supervisors to give orals to civilians that want to be police officers. And they'll call out to other agencies that have a larger manpower pool, like we had, and see if any supervisors want to go out and help them get on the board. Usually it's 3 people or 4, whatever the amount of people. And so I thought, well, I want to be a top-step detective, so I'll go volunteer for this. So they sent me out to one of the airline cities, suburbans of Los Angeles, another city, and I met a sergeant from the personnel. He was a sergeant officer of that city, and he was in charge of personnel, basically hiring people. And then they had a black supervisor from another city near him, and then me. So you had pretty much a pretty good mix. You had a black, Caucasian, and Mexican up here, which is really good. What you want to feel like you represent the community, because the city we're in is very multi-racial, very multiracial. So good board. So we're in suits and ties, and I had a ton of these stories. I'm only going to tell you 3 because it's just the big ones. But you don't know the other board members, so you don't know what their thinking is. But we're all cops. You don't know what their racial views are, or their gay or lesbian rules are, or nothing. You don't know any of that. You're just 3 people thrown together. Okay, so we have these, or 3 days we gave orals. Every 45 minutes somebody came in, every day. Okay, so the first one of the day comes in. These are all young men and women. They're probably in their early 20s. Okay, you have to be 21, obviously, but they're in their they're 20. I think the oldest guy we have was like 30. The rest of them are mid 20s, 25, 26. Black gentleman comes in his mid 20s, sits down. And I did the same thing when I came on. I did the same thing when I made a policeman, training officer. Same thing when I became a detective. Kind of intimidating. In front of a board, they're all supervisors. He introduces us. And then, do you have an opening statement? So he's talking about, that I've been a bartender and this and that, and I like law enforcement. Okay, that normal stuff. Well, he has a beard. Okay, hair's cut short. He's got a white shirt with a little collar and a member's jacket on, and Levi's. Okay, I guess I'm old school. You go to moral board, you put on a suit and tie. If you got a beard, shave it. Okay, it's first impressions. Okay, this is not a job working at IBM or some factory. This is a police officer's job. So, okay, fine. So he's talking. His answers weren't that great. We gave him some what ifs, some scenarios about ticket writing and a few other things, and he answered them okay, but not really that great. He was stumbling through it. He was nervous and didn't do very well. And we were supposed to give, according to their rules, if we give 81 or above, 80 or above, then they would go on to the next level, and then he would have they would start the investigation of their background, because usually you wind up, if you got 100 applicants, you might get 5 that pass, because you got like tickets, arrests, dope usage, finance problems. They all start weeding out. Pretty soon of those 100 applicants, you might have 5. Okay, yeah, it really is a hell of a thing to do. So someone that would go to the next level, we had to write down 80 or above, and then we'd go 85, 88, with whatever ranking was good, and he would hit this personnel sergeant. He would rate them over the weeks that they do this. And of course, the top of the top, he would take those and go off, and then he'd reach down a little more if he needed more people. So he left the room, right? Okay, not all these guys. So I'm sitting there, and of course, we got like 10 minutes to discuss, 15 minutes to discuss this, and then rate them, and then wait for the next applicant. So the guy here in charge goes, "What do you guys think?" And I go, "Well, now I'm not sure about the black guy, okay? And again, he's probably not sure about us. He's in a room with non-blacks, and I'm in the room with, I'm like, ugh." So I broke the ice. I go, "Well, it would have been nice if he wore a suit." Okay, I thought that's kind of a generic answer to anyone, not necessarily because he's black. I don't care what he is. Okay, and the black guy goes, "Yeah, how about a shave?" And I went, "All right, we got a regular guy here," because you don't know. Sometimes people have agendas. He has a right to his opinion. Okay, and and then this guy goes, "Yeah, and I didn't like he's wearing Levi's," and now we're discussing his clothing, and then we're discussing some of the answers, which he didn't get very well. And we said, "No, I don't think so." And what do you think? I don't know. So we don't tell anybody what to write down. So we had his sheet, had a little box in the corner. I gave him like a 78. I said, and I turned out the black guy gave him like a 75, and this guy gave him a 72. So he goes, "Okay, well, he had 2 piles, right? Well, this is no, sorry." Okay, so that's one story. Here goes the next one. a lady comes in. I call her a lady because I don't know what the right terminology is nowadays. As far as I'm concerned, she was a girl, 21 years old, 22 years old, very young, very nice. Sits down. They had a table in front of us, a pretty wide table, and they're at the other end of the table, and we're on this side. Very nice. So we're asking her. She gives her opening statement, really nice, very quiet. She's like this. Yes, and very low key, and yes, and then and we ask her some law questions, general stuff, not really complicated, but you catch a burglar, can you shoot burglars? No, you can't. Just stuff like that, general stuff they should know. Well, we hit one right on the button. Okay, one of the guys said, I don't remember who it was. One of the guys says, "Okay, you're at a family dispute, and being that you're a lady, you're going to encounter most of the family disputes. You're going to want a lady there to either search the lady involved or interview them, and you're going to find out, what the husband did. And then, are you okay? Are you okay to handle that?" She goes, "Well, yeah. I have a history. I have a background. I can refer to that." We're going, "Oh, okay. We always want to hear, what's the background?" And she's like, "Well, when I was a teenager, my dad hit my mom." And we're going, "Oh, that's interesting." He goes, "Go ahead." He goes, "Well, he's like this. She's like this, right? Well, he hit her. Well, watch me now." Okay. He goes, he hit her, and then and she was screaming, and then he hit her some more, and then we called the police, and then he started hitting her, and then we were all screaming, and we're like, "Uh-oh," okay. And she goes, and then and the cops came, and oh, it was horrible. Oh my gosh! And she goes, "Never should allow anybody to hit a woman." And then she goes like, I'm laughing now. It's like, whoa! It's like, whoa! Shoot! As soon as she banged that table, then she sat back down. Oh, okay. Well, what happened? Well, then he was arrested. We went to move to another house, and she's back down to Muir. So he goes, "Okay, well, ask a few more questions." "Okay, thank you very much." As soon as that door closed, we look at each other. Oh my gosh! Can you imagine if she goes on a radio call?